Stockholm, February 2024. A fintech CEO walks on stage and tells the world he just replaced 700 customer service agents with a single AI. The press calls it the future of work. Investors clap. Klarna's stock pops. 18 months later, the same CEO is on CNBC admitting the AI killed his customer satisfaction scores and he's quietly hiring humans back. The clip lasts 90 seconds. Almost no one in the room asks the obvious follow-up question. That's the real story of AI and jobs in 2026. Not a clean apocalypse, not a bloodless utopia, something messier and far more interesting. Because while everyone was arguing on Twitter about whether artificial general intelligence is 6 months or 6 years away, two very specific things happened in the labor market. White-collar, entry-level hiring collapsed. Trade school enrollment exploded. Goldman Sachs said 300 million jobs were at risk back in 2023. Stanford just published the receipts. And the receipts say something almost nobody predicted in 2022. The safest career bet your kid can make right now is the one your guidance counselor told you to avoid. In the next 12 minutes, we're going to walk through the 5 categories of work AI is quietly deleting, the 7 categories it physically cannot touch, and the salary inversion that's already happening in plain sight. We'll come back to that 700-person Klarna ghost in 8 minutes, and the answer is not what the AI bros want you to think. If you have a laptop job, this video is about your next promotion or your next layoff. There is no third option. To understand what's happening, you have to start with one number that almost nobody quotes correctly. In March 2023, Goldman Sachs economists Jan Hatzius and Joseph Briggs published a report estimating that generative AI could expose the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs to automation. 18% of work globally. 2/3 of jobs in advanced economies could be partially automated. Most of the press read the headline and stopped. The interesting part was on page 7. Goldman didn't predict 300 million unemployed people. They predicted 300 million jobs where some chunk of the daily tasks would be done by software instead of people. The chunk varied wildly by occupation. Office and administrative support jobs, 46% of tasks automatable. Legal work, 44%. Architecture and engineering, 37%. Construction work, barely 6%. Plumbing and electrical work, roughly 4%. That number, 4%, is the most important number in this entire story. Hold on to it. For 2 years after the report dropped, the labor market mostly shrugged. Unemployment stayed low. Wages kept rising. The AI doomers looked silly. Then something shifted in late 2024. In November 2025, McKinsey published its update. Their conclusion was blunt. 57% of US work hours could already be automated with technology that exists today, not by 2030. They had nearly doubled their own estimate from 2 years earlier. The shift wasn't in the technology, it was in deployment. And the deployment looked like this. Klarna, the Swedish payments giant, replaced roughly 700 customer service agents with an OpenAI-based assistant in early 2024. CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski bragged on every podcast that would have him. 2 years later, he admitted the AI had crushed customer quality scores, and the company was rehiring humans, but on flexible contracts, with AI as a co-pilot. The headcount never fully recovered. Net effect, the role still exists, the workers don't. Salesforce cut 4,000 customer support roles in September 2025, with management openly stating that AI could now do half the work in that department. Microsoft announced 9,000 layoffs in July 2025, its largest cull since the Nokia disaster, while CEO Satya Nadella casually mentioned in another forum that 30% of the company's code was now being written by AI tools. Total Microsoft headcount cuts in 2025 alone crossed 15,000. Duolingo got there first and quieter. The company didn't lay off full-time staff. It just stopped renewing contractor agreements for translators and copywriters in October 2024, replacing them with AI pipelines. The CEO had to explain himself in an apology memo months later, but the contractors were already gone. That's the pattern. The job title survives. The actual humans don't. Now zoom in on the demographics. In August 2025, Stanford's Digital Economy Lab released a study that should have been front-page news in every major newspaper. They had access to ADP payroll data, actual paychecks for tens of millions of American workers, and they tracked employment by age and AI exposure from late 2022 to mid-2025. The results were brutal in their precision. For software developers aged 22 to 25, employment dropped nearly 20%. For software developers aged 35 and up in the exact same companies, employment grew between 6 and 12%. Same job title, same code base. The senior engineer kept her job. The junior engineer never got hired in the first place. Across all AI-exposed occupations, early career workers saw a 13% relative decline. The Stanford economists called them canaries in the coal mine. Eric Brynjolfsson, the lead author, has spent 15 years arguing AI would augment human work, not replace it. He's now openly worried. Add to that the writers. An analysis of 180 million job postings showed copywriter and copy editor roles fell 28% in 2025 alone. One agency in the Blood in the Machine report went from $600,000 in annual revenue with 8 employees down to under $10,000 in less than a year. A medical writer's monthly hours collapsed from full-time to 4 hours a month. A ghostwriter's income went from $3,000 a month to $100. The 5 vulnerable categories in 2026 are now visible from space. Customer service Tier 1, junior software development, paralegal and basic legal research, content writing and translation, junior data and financial analysis. Together, they account for tens of millions of jobs across the OECD. And remember, augmentation was supposed to be the comforting word. The word that meant AI would help workers, not replace them. Stanford just showed augmentation was the rebrand. The reality was substitution, hiding in spreadsheets nobody looked at. But here's what nobody saw coming. The more advanced AI got, the more useless it became at one specific kind of work. In 1988, a roboticist at Carnegie Mellon named Hans Moravec wrote a strange book called Mind Children. Buried inside it was a sentence that nobody really paid attention to for 30 years. He wrote that it's comparatively easy to make a computer perform like an adult on intelligence tests, and almost impossible to give it the perception and mobility of a 1-year-old. The roboticists called this Moravec's Paradox. The thing humans find hard, chess, calculus, legal reasoning, is easy for machines. The thing humans find effortless, climbing a ladder with one hand, threading a wire through a wall, telling whether a baby's cry means hunger or pain, is almost impossible for machines. That paradox is the wall AI keeps slamming into in 2026. In April 2025, MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Lab published a study that landed quietly but should be carved into the lobby of every business school. Their economists asked a simple question. For tasks where you currently pay a human to look at something, a screen, a part, a wound, a leak, what fraction of those tasks would actually be cheaper to automate with AI vision systems, given the real-world cost of cameras, compute, training data, and edge cases? The answer was 23%. 23% of the wages currently paid for vision-based tasks are economically viable to replace with AI. The other 77% would cost more to automate than they currently cost to perform. Not in some far future, right now with today's models. The economics simply don't work. Why? Because cameras break, lighting changes, the thing you're looking at is wedged behind a pipe. The customer is moving, the dog walked into the frame. Each of those edge cases needs a human or a robot with the dexterity of a human. And the dexterity of a human is, see Moravec, exactly what robots still cannot do. Look at Amazon. In 2023, they unveiled their Vulcan warehouse robot, the first with a so-called sense of touch. 3 years and several $1 billion later, Vulcan still operates slower than a human picker on most products, and get stuck on irregularly shaped items. UC Berkeley professor Ken Goldberg likes to say, robotics still faces a 100,000-year data gap. Humans evolved hand-eye coordination over millions of years. We have approximately none of that data in a form a neural network can train on. Now translate that wall into job categories: plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, welders, carpenters, nurses, therapists, hairdressers, veterinary techs, mechanics, locksmiths, roofers, childcare workers, physical therapists. Each one of those jobs combines fine motor control, real-world spatial reasoning, emotional read of another human, and judgment about messy environments where the rules change every 15 minutes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports the median electrician now earns $62,350 a year, with the top decile clearing $106,000. The median plumber earns $62,970. Specialty industrial electricians installing EV chargers and data center power systems are pulling $90,000 to $160,000 a year before overtime. Plumbers in high-demand metros the same. Both occupations are projected to grow employment between 4 and 9% through 2034, with electricians alone seeing 81,000 job openings each year. Now hold that next to the Stanford finding. Junior software developers in San Francisco, once the safest career bet on the planet, saw a 20% employment collapse for the under 25 cohort. Computer engineering grads now have an unemployment rate of 7.5%. Computer science grads 6.1%, both higher than the national average of 4.3%. A 22-year-old who graduated last year with a CS degree is more likely to be unemployed than a 22-year-old apprentice electrician. That sentence would have been a joke in 2019. It's a Bureau of Labor Statistics fact in 2026. Healthcare deserves its own paragraph. Nursing, the single largest skilled occupation in the United States, is projected to add tens of thousands of positions every year for the next decade. The UK's NHS announced plans to recruit over 50,000 additional nurses by the end of 2025. Therapists are seeing waiting lists balloon. Veterinary technicians can name their price. Why? Because every one of those jobs requires touching a body that does not want to be touched, reading an emotion that the patient is hiding, and making a 30-second judgment call that sends them home or to the ICU. AI cannot do that. Not because the model isn't smart enough, because the model has no hands and no eyes that work in a real corridor with a real scared human in it. Which brings us to the most uncomfortable number in this entire story. In the spring of 2025, the National Student Clearinghouse released enrollment data that the higher education establishment buried in 3 paragraphs of a press release. Vocational 2-year college enrollment jumped 11.7% year over year, up 20% since 2020. Trade school enrollment among Gen Z is up 1,421% over the last 8 years. Apprenticeship programs grew 11% in 2024 alone. Construction trades saw a 17% spike in applications from 18 to 24-year-olds. Read those numbers again. This is not a slow shift. This is a stampede. And it's happening because the kids running the numbers are smarter than the parents telling them what to do. A 19-year-old looking at the labor market in 2026 sees 3 things their parents don't see. They see junior coding jobs evaporating. They see content writing work cratering. They see plumbers driving trucks that cost more than a Brooklyn studio apartment. Validated Insights projects trade school enrollment will keep growing 6.6% per year through 2030, almost entirely powered by Gen Z. The Home Builders Institute reports that 40% of construction firms increased base pay rates more in 2025 than they did in 2024, because there aren't enough humans to do the work. The AI data center boom, the same boom that's making Microsoft and Google rich, needs electricians and pipefitters that don't exist. Those firms are now poaching tradespeople from residential construction at premium rates, which is hollowing out housing supply, which is pushing rents up, which is making wages in the trades go up faster. That's the inversion. The AI revolution is making the jobs AI can't touch more valuable, not less. Because every NVIDIA GPU shipped is a building somewhere that needs to be wired, cooled, plumbed, and maintained by human hands, with no software in sight. and the prestige map is flipping in real time. The DeWalt 2024 survey found that 2/3 of Gen Z respondents now view skilled trades as more secure than tech jobs. A Resume.org survey of 1,000 business leaders found that 60% expected to lay off employees in 2026 and 40% expected to replace them with AI. None of those layoff plans target plumbers. The white-collar dream, go to college, go to grad school, sit in a chair, climb the ladder, was the dominant career narrative in the United States for 60 years. It is dying in front of us, in the data, every quarter. Microsoft's Satya Nadella himself, while paying himself $96.5 million in 2025, was simultaneously laying off 15,000 of the people who used to follow exactly that script. He wrote a memo about the enigma of success while he was doing it. There is no enigma. The enigma is that a roboticist named Moravec spelled all of this out in 1988, and we collectively chose to ignore him until the bill came due. Now, what happens to those displaced workers? Some get retrained, most don't. Companies talk about reskilling. Wharton's Peter Capelli has been pointing out for 2 years that the actual evidence for AI causing mass technical unemployment is thinner than the press makes it sound. Many of these layoffs are old-fashioned cost-cutting wearing an AI mask. Klarna's reversal proves the limits. Microsoft's profitability proves the cost-cutting. Both things are true at the same time. The AI is real. The AI washing is also real. Workers eat the consequences either way. The hardest pill in this entire story is the one almost nobody is willing to swallow on camera. The advice, learn to code, the gospel that politicians, parents, and pundits preached for 15 years, is now, statistically, the single worst career advice a parent can give a 16-year-old in 2026. Code is what AI does best. Plumbing is what AI does worst. The market has already priced that in. It's just waiting for the rest of the culture to catch up. 18 months ago, in a room in Stockholm, a CEO told the world he was the future. He was, in a way, just not the way he meant. The future he showed us was the one where AI takes the easy jobs first, the ones with scripts, screens, and predictable patterns, and leaves the messy, physical, human ones standing. The number that started this video, Goldman's 300 million, is real. The number that ends it is the one Stanford published nobody quotes, 20%. The drop in employment for Americans aged 22 to 25 in the most AI-exposed jobs since late 2022. A whole generation of laptop workers who never even got the chance to be displaced because they were never hired in the first place. There's a kid somewhere in Ohio right now choosing between a 4-year computer science degree and a 3-year electrician apprenticeship. The CS degree costs $100,000 and ends in a 6% unemployment rate. The apprenticeship pays him $40,000 while he learns it and ends in a 4% automation risk for the next decade. He is going to make the right call. The question isn't whether the inversion is happening. It's whether you're willing to admit it before your kid asks you what to do. Somewhere in a Klarna call center, a rehired customer service rep is closing a chat window. Somewhere in a Microsoft meeting room, a manager is choosing which of her team to keep. And somewhere in a community college outside Cleveland, a kid is signing an apprenticeship contract for work that pays more than half the desk jobs Stanford just buried in a footnote. The economy nobody believed in 5 years ago is the economy we wake up in tomorrow.